To this day, my favorite video game of all time, Sly 2 Band of Thieves, turns 20 years old this year. However, this year is almost up, so we are doing our end of year rankings for every mission in this game. I did a very similar video with Sly 1 back in 2022 when that was turning 20 years old, so we're keeping the tradition rolling. Now, since Sly 2 does not have level replayability, I'm just going to show you some stream footage of the level that I'm talking about. Also, all these missions are more or less in order when they used to be alphabetical, which I guess makes sense, but it was really annoying for me to order everything. It took like 40 minutes or something. And I couldn't find the prologue mission anywhere at the museum, but that would probably go in like a B or C tier or something. So let's kick things off with the first actual mission, Satellite Sabotage. This mission just has Sly run around the hub world and turn on 3 satellites, and on the back of these satellites are some little buttons for him to interact with. I don't even think that the big flashlight guards can even spawn here, so they're really treating you like a baby, which is fine, nothing wrong with that. Just very, very simple level, like a C, it's fine. Breaking and entering, some tag teaming with your boy Murray. This mission's great. You gotta beat him up to start, you gotta sneaking around some lasers. Towards the end of the level though, there's this giant room with all these guards, and it's kind of hard to sneak around all of them. At least it was for me when I was younger. So there's usually some more brawling that happens a little later, and you wrap up with some reconnaissance. This mission kind of has it all. I feel like this is going to be a B. We may bump that up later. We will see about that. Bug Dimitri's office. I love any mission that does not take place in the hub world, but you know, in one of the buildings in there. And some of those buildings you can't ever enter again after that mission's completed. But this mission's really fun. I mean, you could go all out, kick everyone's ass, you could sneak around. There's even a lot of speedrunning tricks that you could use to make this level even shorter, and that is also something that gives it some bonus points for me. This might be an S. We'll start it off at A, though. There's a lot of really good missions. Follow Dimitri, though. Okay, I don't like following missions. They're pretty boring. And 9 times out of 10, whoever you're following has to take this horribly inefficient path and make, like, you know, 9 circles around the map before they finally figure out where they're going. These missions could be kind of fun and make you feel pretty sneaky, but I don't know, they're pretty boring. Water Pump Destruction. I love the Murray. Any mission where you're playing as Murray is going to get some bonus points. I love kicking ass with this big boy. It is a really short mission, though, which is why I'm not putting it any higher, but probably gonna be like a B. I like it. Moonlight Rendezvous, another following mission. This one's a little faster paced, so a little more interesting. Neela just runs around like a crazy person, vandalizing everything, killing enemies, you know. I guess that drops some coins for you, so that's nice. Not gonna get higher than a C for me, though. Not a huge fan. Silence the Alarms. This one's kind of repetitive, but it's still more Murray action. You run around destroying some alarms throughout the map. They can only be destroyed by picking items up with Murray and then tossing them over your head. And trying to, you know, pick up a chair or a newspaper can be kind of annoying, given how many guards are after you, but you can just pick up and throw the guards too if you really want. Probably just gonna get a C though, a little repetitive to be much higher, I think. Disco Demolitions is super fun actually. Bentley is really weak and I don't always enjoy playing as him, but they give him a lot of stuff to do in this mission. I think this is an easy A for me. I like this one a lot. Theater Pickpocketing. Okay. Again with the repetition, I mean, Sly just picks the pockets of 6 different guards in this building while dodging spotlights and dodging the flashlights of these guards and whatnot. And I feel like this mission takes so long. Like, granted, each guard is doing their own unique thing, so that's kind of spicing it up, I guess. Picking pockets can be a fun part of a mission, but if it's the only thing you're doing, it's not going to get a lot of points from me. Alright, last mission in episode 1, Operation Thunderbeak. This one's super fun. You start off as Bentley and Murray, you gotta blow the hole in the hatch to get into this water tower, and then you gotta like turn all these cranks to figure out some kind of puzzle. It kind of makes no sense, but it's pretty cool. Then you steal a car, shoot a harpoon up to the poop cock, pull that down, destroy someone's priceless water fountain, which is really just the fancy looking lid that covers a massive counterfeiting operation, and then you fight Dimitri. Pretty simple patterns to learn for the boss fight, but it's still pretty fun. I think I'll probably give this an A. I'm hesitant to put anything in S so far. The first chapter's overall really good. I wish I could say the same about chapter 2 though. I think this one has a few more stinkers. Recon the ballroom. You just infiltrate some balls, take some pictures of people without their consent. This one has a lot of lore value, but nothing else really going on. Probably get like a D. I think it's funny. Battle the Chopper. Oh my gosh. Okay, with like PS2 analog controls that are like almost always inverted in some weird way, this is kind of awful. But it has grown on me as I've gotten older. This would have been like an F or an E. I think it deserves a D. Elephant Rampage. This one's pretty fun. So you try to sneak into the elephant's bedroom while they're sleeping or something, but then you spook a mouse when you're crawling under the floorboards, and the elephants are like, holy shit, what was that? I'm out of here. So then they start rampaging the city, and you gotta jump on rooftops to get on top of their backs, and then they have these fancy headdresses with these rubies in them that you need to make a super strong saw blade. The story for this game and all the stuff you have to do for each operation, it's kind of crazy. This one's also pretty repetitive, but I like it. I think it barely gets a B. It's like a low B. Boardroom Brawl. This one's fun. You get some neat little stealthy bits for Sly at the beginning, and then just a bunch of kicking butt with Sly and Murray while Bentley does his thing. Yeah, it's just a fun level. Easy B. Steal a Tuxedo. Okay, this one may be S. I love this one. So you know how Sly infiltrated the ballroom for some reconnaissance? He saw quite a few babes there, and he wants to go dance with them, but he doesn't have a tuxedo. He literally just goes dressed like this. So he just walks to the nearest hotel, and then while everyone's at the ball, he just ransacks all their belongings until he finds enough pieces of a tuxedo to, like, you know, make a Franken tuxedo. You could beat everybody up up if you want. You could take more of a stealthy approach. It's all really fun. Probably gonna be an S. I love this mission. Super fun. Kinda long though. Dominate the dance floor. So now he has his tux and he's dancing with the babes. It's a quick little memory and rhythm type game where you just press a combination of buttons. Aside from that, it's pretty slow and pretty boring. I'll give it like a D. Lowering the drawbridge. I don't know what this picture is. I'm pretty sure it's Bentley bombing the like support beams for a bridge. So I don't know what Sly's doing checking out the rhino's ass. I may have to double check, but if this is what I think it is, this is probably like a B. This one's quick and it's fun. I like it. RC bombing run. All of the RC related missions are usually really quick and kind of fun and kind of stupid. A lot of the minigame type stuff in this game was not like fully fleshed out, I feel. Probably just so kids wouldn't be too intimidated by it or something. Still just gonna be like a D though. Alright, Operation Hippo Drop. This one's pretty fun. Oh, this is the one where Bentley bombs the bridge. Okay. I'll have to move that other one I was talking about down on the list for sure. I'll do that at the end of the video. But yeah, this one's got a really fun Bentley section at the beginning. You got dancing with the babes. You got some RC stuff. And then you're home free. It's a nice little balance of stuff to do. There's no real Murray representation here other than, you know, that. Overall, nothing groundbreaking though, and it's the same kind of dancing stuff we did earlier in the chapter, so it's probably just gonna get like a C, but still pretty cool. Yeah, as you can see, episode 2 did not do too hot, except for this one, first S. Alright, Spice Room Recon, the first mission in episode 3, I believe. This one's pretty simple, just got some fun fighting, some fun platforming, and then some picture taking to top it off. Pretty short, but pretty sweet. I'll give it a C. Feeding the elephant. Oh gosh. Alright, little detail about me. I do not like episode 3. I think it's pretty sad. If you want to get anywhere, you have to go to this like big central tower with vines connecting to several different trees throughout the map, and then you gotta, you know, slide down these vines to get where you're going. So if you see a treetop that you can't get to, usually you have to backtrack all the way back here and figure out where you're supposed to go. And this mission has so much backtracking, and I kind of hate it. It gets you acquainted with the hub world pretty well. Very well at that. But besides that, man, I am so sick of this one. I dread it every time I pick up this game. This one might get like an E. Looking back, I would absolutely rather dance with Neela, battle the chopper, take pictures of balls. So yeah, I think we have our first E. Water Bug Run. This one was super hard when I was younger, until you realize it's actually a pretty straight shot to get where you're going. Now you're supposed to periodically stop by these pools and let the bug have a little swimmy, or he gets really pissy. But if you just completely ignore the pools, he'll get pissy, start yelling, the guards will come running, but you're faster than them, so generally you can just bolt to the finish line and get the mission over with really fast. I think this one's funny. I'll keep it in C. Oh, rip off the... Yeah, I think episode 3 is worse than 2. I think we're still getting worse here. So yeah, Sly jumps up on the thing, whacks this super delicate, priceless, fragile ruby, he says, as it falls like 40 feet and breaks its neck, but it's fine. And then Murray has to freaking pick it up and toss it all over the map and toss it onto these little like trampoline things that Bentley deploys. And you can't run and you can't jump while holding this giant thing, and you're completely helpless if a guard spots you because Bentley is of no use. Yeah, this one's rough, man. I don't like it. If you get really lucky, this one might not be too bad. It's probably like a D. If you get really unlucky, as I usually do, it's an E. Neela's Secret, another following mission where you just chase Neela around for a while. This one is short and has some decent platforming. Put it right next to this one. Spice Bridge Destruction. Oh my gosh, this one's so long, but it's actually pretty fun. You just hop in these big barrels of TNT that explode if you ever want to leave, by the way, so make sure you know what you're doing. And you just very, very slowly and methodically tiptoe through this spice production facility, which is decked out, by the way, with tons of lasers and spotlights and guards. And this one has no save points. If you die at any point while you're doing these long menial tasks in here, you go all the way back to the start. So this one's really long and kind of brutal for people who aren't awesome at video games. I think all the things they put in this level were kind of on the right track, but there's just a little too much of them. I'll give it a C though. Leading Rajan. This one's so dumb. As Bentley, you shoot these sonic boom darts, and then Rajan, you know, the big boss fight of this chapter, he'll hear it and come running, and you're trying to lead him to these Indian watermelons, and he'll gobble the whole thing down. He's the throat goat, apparently. And throat goats need long naps, so you're trying to get them to just nod off so you can steal some blueprints off them. But you will attract so many unwanted guards along with Rajan along the way to these watermelons, so it's really, really annoying. This one on paper is kind of cool. The execution was not there, though. This one might be the third E of the same chapter. Oof. Okay, below the dam. So Bentley hijacks this truck, but he's not actually in it for the truck. He's in it for the helicopter inside. He's a helicopter digger. And hold on, watch this. Ready? How about that? So he flies the chopper up in the sky, it's got a turret on it. And you use this turret, being the hero that you are, to destroy a dam that will immediately flood the village. And while you're at it, a freaking legion of attack helicopters will come try to kick your ass. And their projectiles are really fast and you can't really dodge them, so you just have to shoot the choppers themselves before they get close enough to shoot. It's kind of dumb. It's on the same level as like Battle the Chopper, you just have to worry about slightly different things. I don't know, it's a D. Operation Wet Tiger, that sounds really gross, but I promise this mission's kind of cool. So you and Neela are like best friends forever and nothing could ever go wrong, and you're gonna go take down the boss together, and then Neela says bye. So then Sly gets hit with the bolt of lightning and he dies forever. But Murray is coming to save the day. Murray is all on his own, he beats the boss's ass, it's super fun, you got this cool arena. Some of the attacks that Rajan throws at you are kinda bullshit. It's still a really fun boss fight, I like it. I don't know, it doesn't have as much fun stuff to do as this operation. It's a B, it's a B. Best boss fight, but the rest of the filler is not that interesting, I think. Moving on to chapter 4, Eavesdrop on Contessa. So you play as Bentley and you're all alone, you gotta figure out where Sly and Murray are by shooting the main villain of this chapter in the tush. But it's okay, because your darts have like super awesome pubes that help you listen to what she's saying. But these are also like super cool ghost spirit darts that she can't feel or see at all. I don't know, don't think about it. It's kind of funny. I'll put it like D. Okay, wall bombing is I think next. You get that RC chopper going, you poop on a bunch of guards patrolling the Great Wall of Scary so that Sly, who they're guarding, can eventually escape. Where did I put the other RC? Yeah, it's on the same level as this other RC chopper mission. Train hack. This is the first hacking mission of the game, and boy, it's hacking. Look at his dumbass. What is he doing? He's straight humping that thing. So there's 6 terminals, each with a little hacking minigame, and each terminal makes the train go faster, until eventually the train does its impression of a plane. And then it just flies and crashes into the wall of the prison so the Sly can escape. This one's kind of fun. I'll put it in like D. I don't know. I can tolerate the hacking. Some people can't. I get it. Close to Contessa. So the privacy of the Contessa's tush was not violated enough with just Bentley. No. Now we got Sly tailing her this time. Just take out the guards following Contessa. Oh, sorry. That sucks. Pick her pocket, you'll get some keys, I think, and then a book of how to be awesome. It's kind of like Follow Dimitri, but with more steps, and it's more repetitive and longer, but also more interesting. I don't know, I'll put it in C, it's okay. Code capture, okay, so you have to lure these flashlight guards away from their post. They're guarding these like monitors with secret codes on them, so you lead them away, like press a button or something, then the code displays, get to a vantage point, so you can take a picture of the code before the guard rushes back to turn it off. Kinda cool, kinda dumb, kinda stressful. I'll put it in C. Lightning action. Okay, so you're supposed to like find all these lightning rods and like deactivate their conductive qualities, I guess, so that the next highest object, being this robot disguised as a water tower, will get struck by lightning instead and die. The process, though, of deactivating the lightning rods is kind of stupid. You gotta just turn these 3 little cranks, and that sounds easy, but sometimes Sly is stupid and just kind of plays with it instead of turning it. Uno, dos, tres. Sly? Thank you. Yeah, all the lightning rods are spaced apart really far from each other. Kind of annoying, kind of repetitive. It's okay though, I'll put it in C. Big house brawl, dude. It's just Murray kicking loads of butt. I love it. You have to kill 50 of these guards, but there's quite a few creative ways to do that given the space that you have to fight them in. Looking at the rest of the B tiers, this is probably a high B or low A. I'll put it in B for right now. Super fun. Disguise bridge. Okay, this one's really dumb, but I like it. So Bentley needs to blow up this bridge, which is crucial to the plot or something. And you know how bridges be. They have guards all over them. So, as Sly, you need to protect Bentley while he's placing his bombs on this bridge by destroying the little gargoyle buddies, posing as one of them, and then becoming blacker in the process. I find the concept of this mission really funny, but it's just a lot of beating up guards with extra steps. You could be stealthy for most of it if you really wanted to, but even then, stealth is easier said than done in this mission. It's fun though, I'll give it a B. Okay, Operation Trojan Tank. This one's pretty cool actually. You need to get in the enemy base, and you don't really have the means to do that, but Bentley can hijack a tank, and Sly can't fit inside, but he can crawl underneath it as you kind of roll in the front door. And then once you're there, you just use the tank's gun to blow a massive hole in the building, and then you just waltz on in, and thus begins the process of freeing Murray, which involves a lot of platforming with Sly. There's also some fun hacking, and the mission kind of wraps up with a cool little boss fight where essentially Murray's been like brainwashed and he's super angry. So you have to bait Murray into charging into these machines that are essentially making him crazy. And then it ends just chasing the Contessa, running around in a big circle, and she gives birth to little explosive babies for you to fight. It's weird. This mission kind of has it all. It's a super cool operation, I think. It's pretty long, and the platforming can be kind of frustrating, but it's got a lot going on. Similar to Thunderbeak, I think this one's one's probably better though. Moving on to chapter 5, Know Your Enemy. So the Contessa gets away and she captures Carmelita to become her best friend, which is going very swimmingly, and you have to document this. And this takes place at the top of a pretty tall tower, which is fun to climb, and then you just take pictures and you're good to go. Not much going on, it's a D. Ghost capture, this one's so stupid. So there's this tomb full of spooky boys, but they're spiritual spooky boys. So you head inside the tomb, do some cool platforming, smash up this coffin that holds all these spooky boys, and then they go flying around the hub world, and you have to capture them even though you just freed them. But you have to capture them using your camera by taking pictures of them, but they can also phase into objects, but you can't take pictures of them when they're phasing into objects. You gotta wait for them to come out, and then these ghosty boys are stored in like a canister that was inside of your camera to store the ghosts and drop it in Neela's headquarters, who's also at war with the Contessa. I don't know, this one's weird. It's not an E, but it's also not awesome, and I kind of dread it every time. Stealing voices, okay, this one's fun. So you pickpocket a key or two from some guards to break into this big underground lair under the Contessa's base. You get a voice modulator, then pickpocket a couple more keys to get in an underground layer underneath Neela's base. And once you're there, you find the underground internet cable and slap the voice modulator on there so you can imitate Neela's voice and order her troops to do what you want. There's a lot of pickpocketing, which is not my favorite, but it's kind of balanced out by some really fun platforming. Probably a B. Crypt hack. I like this one a lot. Similar deal with the Sly mission, but you're Bentley and you got some hacking, but the hacking's pretty quick. It's mostly a lot of fun platforming, and this platforming takes place in the super dangerous, treacherous tomb with all these spiky boys trying to kill you. Tons of freaking crazy platforming later. You make your way to the end of the tomb and you get this battery, and the battery's really freaking cranky, so he's like,
"Hey Bentley, if you take a single bit of damage while I'm on your back, it's over for you, pal. My lawyers are gonna have a field day with you. You'll never work in this town again."
So yeah, just don't take damage after this point. But this battery does allow you to hack the terminals necessary to free Carmelita. It's pretty fun. I like it. Probably an A. I enjoy it. This one's also fun. Trap action. So Bentley heads into another tomb, this time to just passively collect bad mojo from this bat fella on the ceiling that's kind of going, and collecting enough of this bad mojo kind of takes a while, and there's lots of enemies that try to kill you while you're waiting. But it gives you tons of these fun traps to just eviscerate the guards. This mission's really long, and I kind of dread it, but it's also been growing on me a lot as I've gotten older. Probably a low A or high B. I'll put it here for now. Super cool. Tank showdown. Murray hops in a tank and shoots a bunch of other tanks. The controls are kind of miserable, but they also make a decent amount of sense at the same time. I don't know. In theory, a tank battle level would have been awesome, but they did not quite hit the mark here. Pretty bad. Kidnap the general. Okay, you as Murray wander into this big enemy base, right? And then you find this crotchety old retired war veteran who's just spouting off racial slurs as he goes about his day. And then you just collect him and take him back to the gang hideout for some torture. You want to know how we tortured that general? It wasn't a gay way, was it? No. Okay. Bentley used this feather and started tickling the old man. That sounds pretty gay. Yeah, sneaking around as Murray is not really my cup of tea, but you could kind of just brawl it out. You can use this army general as a projectile and throw it at enemies, and the general himself will be fine. I believe at this point in the game you have access to Atlas Strength, which allows you to run and jump while carrying things, so this one's actually pretty cool. I'll give it a C. I like it, it's just not really my thing. Okay, Operation High Road. Let's see. You do so much in this mission. I think as Bentley, you shoot down a ton of planes. As Sly, you chase Neela around some more. As Murray, you hop in a tank and shoot Carmelita, who's also in a tank, and then you top it off with Sly farting. Nope, I wish, that'd be funny. You wrap up with Sly fighting Contessa at the end. I kind of forgot the order of those events. It's kind of cool, but also stupid. I'll probably put in B. It's got similar themes to these two operations of just a ton of everything, but it's kind of worse. Cabin Crimes, oh yeah. Chapter 6 is probably my favorite chapter of the game, and we'll probably see a couple S tiers and some A's. Cabin Crimes is fun. There's 3 cabins out in the old Canadian snowy wilderness, filler. That's what Canadians sound like. You could be stealthy, you could not be stealthy. All that really matters is that you find the blueprints hidden in each cabin. What the freak was that? Oh yeah, and one of the cabins has freaking Jean Bisson, and he is so freaking blind. You can get so close to this guy and he won't see. I guarantee you it's just to make the game easier for kids, but it's really funny. Cabin Crimes is cool. I'll give it an A, actually. I like it a lot. A Friend in Need. This one's less cool. Murray gets himself captured because he's kind of silly. Carmelita puts him in this tiny box that's barely big enough to hold his girth, and then while he's arrested, Carmelita just patrols around trying to look for Sly and the rest of the gang, but Sly, of course, is used to this. He finds his way behind Carmelita Carmelita, steals things from her butt, and then frees Murray. Not a whole lot to it. It does lead to some really funny shenanigans with Carmelita and the guards and the trains. There's just tons of chaos going on. Pretty fun and not too long. I'll put it in B. Bear cub kidnapping. Murray finds these lost bear cubs, steals them, puts them in a cage. He's not strong enough to break this cage, but the mama bear is, so she'll come running to free her babies, bust the cage open so they can get whatever you call this thing. Like, it's pretty stupid, but it's pretty funny. I'll probably put it in like a low B along with this one. Maybe drop him down to C later. We'll see. Get it! That's a joke. Spice in the sky. Okay, so Murray hops in this plane and takes Sly way up in the exosphere, right? And on your way down, you have to land on these giant spice balloons that are only seen in this mission and never again. And every time you land on a spice balloon, there's like tons of red fart and maple leaf that come out. Once you land on like, 4 or 5 of them or something, you are, you're fully charged up. You have enough stinky fart. And then you take this pack full of noxious fumes over to the caboose of a train and blow it up. Yeah, do this like 3 times and you're good to go. It's kind of stupid, but I like it a lot actually. It's grown on me over the years. I used to hate this mission. I would put it in B, but there's like 0 gameplay aside from paragliding down onto balloons and precisely landing on the back of a train. Probably like a C is what it deserves, but I think it's funny enough for a B. We'll put it in here for right now. Aerial assault. This is definitely one of the more interesting RC missions. There's quite a variety of things that are shooting you and things you need to dodge. Pretty sweet for an RC mission. I'll give it a C solidly. Theft on the rails. This one's so cool. I love it. Probably another S for me. It's just Sly hijacking a train and dodging the guards and sneaking around and climbing on things. Super fun. I love this chapter. It's too short though, man. This is cool. Never done this before. He's going so fast. Holy crap. Ride the Iron Horse is another train hijacking level, but this time it's Bentley, also really good, probably going to be our third S here. More of the same stuff from the Sly train heist is just sneaking around some lasers and fighting some guards, but Bentley's kit, his bombs and his sleep darts, they're actually integrated in really fun ways in the gameplay here, but I think this is actually better. It's a rare case where I enjoy playing Bentley more than Sly. Operation Choo Choo, this is awesome. More of the same train heist kind of stuff. You have tons of fun stuff to do as Sly, until he is very rudely interrupted by a woman driving moment. So once again, we must employ Bentley and his RC chopping skills. And this is actually a really cool boss fight. The only, I guess, annoying part about it is that she seemingly dies, only to come back later with full health, but it's still a really fun boss fight. Top it off with a bit more platforming as Sly. This is so much fun. I love this operation. Easy S, maybe the best mission in the whole game. We'll see. The whole, second act of the 6th chapter is so much fun. Everything involved with these trains is just a blast. I love it. Super solid chapter all around. The only real stinkers are, I guess, these two, which aren't really even stinkers. I kind of like them. Recon the Sawmill. This one's fine. You take a few pictures around the hub world, walk around till you find this big lighthouse, crawl inside, invade Jean Basson's privacy, and I think that's it. A fine reconnaissance mission, but nothing too special. Bear cave bugging. This one's so stupid. Sly goes into a cave full of 6 sleeping bears because he's stupid, and these bears have trackers implanted in their molars or something, and he pickpockets the trackers out of their mouths when they yawn because they're a bunch of sleepy boys. So you wander around, get all 6 trackers from the bears, and you're good to go. However, the floor of this cave is covered with tons of thin, crackly, crunchy ice, and if you step on that even a tiny bit, those bears are going to wake up and super murder you, which is worse than regular murder. But there is this cool feature that's only used in this chapter and never again in any of the Sly games, but you can split Sly's cane into 2 smaller canes and climb the ice wall to, avoid stepping on the crackly ice. And then you just wrap up the mission by placing those trackers all over the map. This mission's stupid, but I like it. I'll give it a C. Laser reflection. Okay. So Sly wanders into this lumber processing mill or something. Some fun and frankly quite scary platforming later. He finds this laser and redirects it out the window. And then the rest of the mission is just Sly running around the hub world, placing down these little crystal-y boys to redirect the laser. But yeah, this mission's still pretty cool, even though it drags on a little long in the end. I'll probably put it in a low A. Up there with Cabin Crimes. I like it. RC Combat Club. You know the tank missions? Well, imagine if the controls were slightly better and everything else was so much worse. The enemy tank can shoot you once, then you get flipped upside down and you can't get back up, and he just shoots you a million times while you're down until you're dead. So the strat is to run around in a circle until you randomly pick up ammo, flick your tank cannon behind you really quick, shoot him once, and then keep going. Probably an E. I do not like it, but it's kind of funny. But actually, before all this tank crap even starts, there's some really cool platforming with Sly. That might bump it up a spot, but we'll get to that later. Old Grizzleface. This one's pretty fun. There's this bear who can't see anything, but his sense of smell is really good, and he's the only thing that's strong enough to destroy these oil wells or whatever. So Bentley throws some grenades in the water, and when they explode, out come these fish, and Murray picks up the fish, runs to one of these oil drums, and throws the fish onto it, and then he smashes the oil drum, thinking it's a giant yummy fish. And just do that 3 times and you're good to go. Very silly, but I like it. Probably a B. Lighthouse break-in. in. So Sly climbs up this big-ass, icy-ass lighthouse and breaks in, works his way down the most heavily guarded spiral staircase you've ever seen, lets the rest of the gang in through the back door, and then you gotta overload some kind of special something which involves Sly climbing up these power lines, and these power lines like take turns trying to kill you, and you gotta just hop to the one that's being nice to you. A lot of slow climbing in the mission, but it's got like a decent variety of stuff to do, I guess. Probably like a low B. Thermal ride. So those oil drums that old Grizzleface destroyed earlier allow these big panels to open up in the ground and blast this hot air, and Sly can ride that air and get some crazy altitude to fly on over to like an eagle's nest to steal an eagle egg so they can cheat at the Olympics. It's freaking wild. There's not a whole lot to it though. You just kind of paraglide around and steal an unborn baby. I guess I'll probably put it on the similar level of Spice in the Sky. It's a low C though. There's not really a lot going on. Boat hack. You just jump on a bunch of boats to do some hacking and then shoot some grappling hooks onto Sly, who's standing on a battery. Pretty cool. Lots of hacking. I don't mind hacking. I'll put it in C. Operation Canada Games. My gosh. This mission is such bullcrap and I kinda hate it. The mini games in this chapter can feel so out of your control. If you win, that was luck. And if you lose, that was bad luck. I got such a late start to this, but... Aw, you piece of... I couldn't even see that. Grab something else, you twat! You jerk! This sucks shit! It's maybe the most difficult mission in the game. It's kind of fun if you're just built different and you're good at video games. Oh, what's up, Tint, with the eagle emojis? But if you're built bitch and you suck at video games, like I do sometimes, oh man. Don't go... In what world would I... Oh, man. Oh, and the boss fight. Yeah, the boss fight's great. Really fun and unique. The whole level's really fun and unique, but the boss is pretty short compared to the actual Canada games themselves. This is either the most fun you've ever had in Sly Cooper, or you will want to quit the game and never come back. What? Are you telling me you don't hear that alarm clock, you stupid... You son of a bitch. Are you kidding me? Oh, man, I might not have time. Oh, he's coming back! What is your deal, man? So probably like a low A. I kind of want to put it higher because it's funny, but it's really stupid. Okay, last chapter of the game here. Blimp HQ Recon. This one's really like spooky. I like the soundtrack of the final chapter of this game. You know, you board this blimp thinking like, okay, the clockwork parts are up here, but they're not assembled, right? Oh. So just right off the bat, you're uneasy, right? Because Bentley's whole plan of what you guys were going to do and how you were going to stop clockwork from being assembled, that's all out the window. So Bentley's just like, I don't know what to do. Take some pictures. So like you have never felt less prepared in this mission, and I kind of like that. It gives it a nice eerie vibe. This one's better than the regular reconnaissance missions. There's a lot more to it, I think. And there's a lot of like lore value to this one as well. I'll put it in like a low C. So there's not a lot of missions in this last chapter, but each mission is kind of dense, just packed full of tons of gameplay and platforming and tons of little skills that you've picked up throughout the game. The Bentley and Murray team up. Let's see. So this one just has Bentley hacking a ton of terminals to get Murray inside of this big engine room. Once he's in, he has to lift up these big like plugs and then run up to the top layer and then belly flop on him to smash him down, all while being pursued by a shit ton of these drones, which can get kind of annoying. So I'll probably give this a B tier. Pretty cool. Sly and Bentley, here we go. I believe this one has Sly pick a ton of pockets to get a bunch of keys to get Bentley into another engine room, and once he's inside, he's just met with a room full of light bulbs, and he shoots one, and then like a little energy beam is running to the corresponding light bulb. If you shoot any other light bulb before that one, you're dead. The pickpocketing of guards can feel a bit repetitive, and the shooting of light bulbs can get a little repetitive, so this one's not as good as the other one, but still deserving of like a low B, I'd say. The Murray-Sly tag team, here we go. So this mission has Murray running all over the world, destroying these 5 alarms, very similar to one of his first missions from the first chapter, and once you do that, you and your big manly muscles lift up this giant door and slides into the third and final engine room, and the first floor of this place has Sly dodging some floor lasers and some slow-moving little laser grids, and on the second floor, you're met with a ton of saw blades you have to spire jump on. These saw blades take turns rotating at very, very deadly speeds, so just pay attention, carefully follow the laser grids until you get to the control room where you can shut down the engine. Man, every one of these engine room levels is really fun in their own way, but also quite tedious at times, so it's kind of hard to pick a favorite. But yeah, these will all get a B tier. I'll decide my favorite a little later. Speaking of tedious, Charge TNT Run, here we go. So Sly hops in one of these and has to travel all over the hub world like this. Now, it's possible. You can do it, but it's going to take a long ass time, and if you get in the guard's way, there's no guarantee he's going to find his way around you. He might get stuck on you, and then you're forced to just jump out of the barrel, quit the mission, and retry. This one takes forever, and I kind of hate it. Probably is going to go in like E. It's stupid. In a way, I guess it's kind of satisfying to pull off, because it's the game's, you know, last tedious errand to send you on before, you know, the game's over. So it's kind of a bullshit send-off. Sure. Still an E, though. I don't like it. Mega jump job. Hell yeah, getting an S. So this is your last mission mission before the boss fight, and you need some help with the boss fight. So Bentley has tasked you with jumping on top of these big radio towers to try to boost the signal so that Carmelita can hear your cry for help and come help with the boss. But how you gonna get up there? That's so high, and he can only jump a little bit. He's just a little guy. Well, Bentley made you a super jump pack, and you can just go like a freaking flea. It's so much fun. I love this mission. The only thing that sucks about it is that you never get to use it again. Use it for one mission at the end of the game and you're done. You can never replay that mission again unless you want to replay the whole game. It's kind of annoying. So if you're playing this penultimate mission and you're having a blast with the mega jump, take your time. Because if you complete this mission and you want to go back and play with it again, you have to restart the whole game. So just relax. You know, maybe get some bottles, see some sights, man. Damn. Okay, that was slightly longer. I'm happy with that. Okay. Oh yeah, we're stuck forever, by the way. The last known position that we were standing was on Clockla, and she was diving underneath the, like, death zone. So we respawned underneath the death zone, and now we're falling forever. Yeah, I love this mission. Easy S tier. I just wish there was more mega jump action before the game was over. Alright, last level of the entire game, Carmelita's Gunner. This has you using the same little turret system that we've seen before in chapters 2 and 3, and I did not miss it. I really did not miss this gun. I will give this level some points because it's the last level of a very good game. It's got emotional value and narrative value, but most of it is just shooting Clockla with this turret. Yeah, if I could put Clockla as a concept in a tier, it would be an F. We could just put Clockla down here. So once you're done shooting Clockla in the face, she gets really, really bad and then snatches up your hideout on top of this blimp. She just takes the whole thing, which has Bentley and Murray in it, and they are innocent little angels, so you gotta go save them. So the blimp is falling apart, there's rubble everywhere, you gotta platform across this falling rubble, and the gravity's kind of weird and kind of gets you killed in dumb ways, but it's pretty fun, I enjoy it. So once you make your way to Clockla, you beat her up some more, just smack her in the face with your cane, and she violently crash lands in one of the worst places you can imagine, France, which is fittingly where this game started, so that's cool. And then in some kind of lame, desperate attempt to keep living, she boots up some kind of laser system. Oh! And then for some reason, Sly's like, hey, there's a hate ship. That's the source of Clockla's power. How about you go pickpocket it? Oh, I wish we could send someone else, but we don't have anyone with sneaky skills like you. So Bentley hops and skips and jumps over there, takes the hate ship, and then gets chopped in half forever and dies. I'm just kidding. Everyone lived. That is the end of the game. Super cool game. Strange narrative choices in the ending, though. I definitely would not have done the whole Clockla thing. That's okay. That's a video for another time. This mission is not awesome. This one kind of belongs in D, but the platforming on the falling rubble is fun, and there's some emotional significance here, so I think it barely gets a C. I think it's pretty cool. Still don't like the turret stuff, though, I'm afraid. Okay, now the final and probably hardest task of the video. Well, a lot of people just put stuff into tiers and leave it at that, but I'm a baller, so I'm gonna rank them not only from top to bottom, but from left to right. Let's start with the E tier, okay? So I think RC Combat Club is not the worst. It's got some fun slide platforming, and even though the controls are gimmicky with the tanks, I still kind of like it, so this is probably like a high E. Feeding the elephants also isn't the worst. It's fairly inoffensive. It's just really slow, and Traversing World 3 just sucks. Traversing World 8 sucks, and you have to do it in a barrel. This one may be the worst. Rip Off the Ruby's also really bad. I think this is good. This is a good E tier. D tier, mostly reconnaissance missions and battling choppers. Okay, I think shooting stuff with this turret, I think that has to go in, like, you know, the bottom. I do like sync-based things, so I think I will probably put Dominate the Dance Floor up kind of high, as funny as that is. Oh, and Eavesdrop on the Contest is probably like another bottom tier for D. I get that it's all about exposition, but it's just so boring. Ghost Capture's really bad. Train Hack I think is fun. I kind of like all the hacking. We'll put that kind of up high. Follow Dimitri's okay. It's just really boring and slow. Looking pretty good. I think Know Your Enemy's the best reconnaissance mission in D tier. Moving on to C tier now. Okay, I don't think this one's getting much higher. Satellite Sabotage, I think I may have been too nice to this mission. It's fine. It's just, it's very simple. I might drop this down to D, actually. We'll put this over like Follow Dimitri. It's okay. Hippo Drop, it's just dancing with Carmelita, some RC stuff. Yeah, it's also not amazing. Put that bottom of C. Theater Pickpocketing, it's so hard to like this one. I might put this one kind of low too. Spice Grinder Destruction I kind of like. It's really slow, but there's like no chance of dying if you just run ahead, kill all the guards first, and then come back for the TNT. This one's okay. Neela's Secret also gonna go down here. It's like a little bit more interesting than Moonlight Rendezvous, I guess. I actually really like Aerial Assault. This one's a ton of fun. Spice in the Sky, probably probably not quite as good. I think Aerial Assault might be my favorite level here. Kind of shocking they made an RC Chopper level that I like that much. And a hacking mission I also like quite a lot. I think C tier is overall really good. All these are very neck and neck with each other, except for maybe like the Neela missions. Okay, B tier, we're getting into the good ones now. Breaking and entering, good. Water pump destruction, I think less good. We'll start that maybe towards the bottom half. Elephant rampage, yeah, this one's also towards the bottom half. It's kind of tedious and stupid, but I don't mind its tediousness and stupidness too much. Boardroom brawl, probably also towards the bottom here. Okay, so lower the drawbridge. I thought this was where Bentley blows up the bridge. No, that's just part of the operation. This is just Sly picking a bunch of pockets, so this is up there with, like, I don't know, theater pickpocketing, I guess. Actually, yeah, this one does not have as much charm as theater pickpocketing. We're going down to, like, freaking lightning action. I don't know. I don't like you. This one's pretty good. I mostly like it for the boss fight at the end. The rest of it's, I don't know, who cares? We'll drop him down a few spots, maybe. Big House Brawl is really fun. The Skies Bridge is really fun. Man, I've just got, like, a big dumb smile on my face looking at all these missions. Friend in Need, probably drop that down to, like, a low B. Bear Cub Kidnapping, another low B. I like the gang team-ups in the last chapter. That's really fun. I think Bentley Murray is my favorite. Sly Bentley is probably my least favorite, but not by much. These are all neck and neck and neck. I think High Road is better than Wet Tiger. I think I'll raise this up a couple spots. Stealing Voices. This one's fun, but I'm going to drop it down a few spots. Better than Disguise Bridge. Better. I think this might be a top of B, man. I like High Road. I think I'm pretty pleased with this B tier. I think the A tier might need some reworking. Canada Games really makes me mad. When I was editing this video and watching back the clips of my stream where I was playing the Canada games, I was getting so, like, second-hand mad. It's second-hand for my past self, so I guess that's just back to first-hand. But anyway, this one deserves some middle fingers, I think. But I don't know if it's enough middle fingers to drop it down. I think it's just the bottom of A. I think Captain Crimes is more fun than Mojo Trap Action. This one can get really long. These two operations are like neck and neck. I may move Trojan Tank up one spot. Disco Demolition's not as good as Cryptac, I don't think, but still pretty fun. And then Bug Dimitri's Office, probably going with Disco Demolitions. I think this is how it goes. Trojan Tank, Thunder B, Cryptac, Disco Demolitions, Dimitri's Office. Yeah, that seems like a good top 5 for A. The rest of this looks pretty good. I'm still mad at you. Alright, we have made it, dude. The S tier. Mega Jump Job. Your actual objectives are really, like, bland and simple, but I don't mind because moving around with the Mega Jump Pack is just so much fun. This mission knows what it is. It knows that its objective is very simple, but that's not the point. You know, the point of the mission is to hop around the map like a little flea, which is awesome. I love it. Do I love it enough to put it above these 3 awesome train jobs? I'm afraid Steal a Tuxedo might have to be the bottom of S. It is a really long mission, and I don't mind it too much because I like what I'm doing the whole time, but it does get a little repetitive. I think these two might be the bottom of S, so I think it just comes down to me ordering these 3 train jobs. Theft on the Rails is some pretty, like, kind of bare bones train action, you know what I'm saying? I think this is probably my least favorite of the 3, but still super fun. Because the thing is, about all these train missions, you could do the regular platforming the way the game intends, or you could just hop on top of the train cars and just run all the way to the end of the mission. It's so fun and stupid. Man, these 3 missions are just different. You can't really compare anything else to them. Dude, this one is so much fun. I love just annihilating sleeping guards with Bentley's bombs. It's awesome. I enjoy this one slightly more than Theft on the Rails, but probably not as much as Operation Choo Choo, baby. This one does not have much Bentley action unless you count the RC stuff, which is pretty fun, but if there was some of this Bentley action, I think this would be even better. But as is, I think this is still good enough to be the best mission in the game. I like it a lot. If you're not really all that big of a fan of the boss fight with the RC chopper against Neela, I totally get it. Oh yeah, and then we got Clockla. Clockla's right there. That's where she belongs. Just Clockla as a concept for the story is F tier. Just because I don't like having an empty tier at the end of my tier list videos. I don't think any of these deserve F, but she sure does, man. Alright, actual last thing I want to do for this video. In the Sly 1 level video, I assigned a point value to each tier. So if a chapter had, say, 4 levels in A tier, you know, that'd be like 5 points apiece. It's looking pretty good. But levels in E tier are like 1 point apiece or something like that. So I'll do some calculations and get back to you guys with the winner. I'll throw it up on screen right now. This chapter had the highest scoring levels. Whip-de-doo, hooray, W. Alright, here we have it. The definitive Sly 2 job / mission / level ranking tier list featuring Neela as a concept. I'm positive I'll look at this list like a month from now and disagree with a couple things, but for now, this is my opinion. I'll go ahead and link this tier list in the description of the video. I urge you guys to make your own tier list if you know anything about the game. Even if you don't know anything about the game and you just watch my streams, feel free. I am incredibly passionate about this game, my favorite game of all time. I love it so much. But yeah, happy 20th anniversary or 20th birthday, whatever you want to call it, to Sly 2 Band of Thieves for the PS2. wonderful game. I recommend you guys play it if you have a PS2, or if you feel like pirating it, which I would never recommend. That is bad. Don't do that. But yeah, that is going to do it for this video and for this year. You guys are going to see me till January, but that's right around the corner. Before we go, thank you so much to my wonderful patrons on Patreon and members on YouTube. You guys are the financial heart and soul of this channel. You guys keep things going. I would not be able to do this for a living and pump out videos and streams every week if not for the contributions from these awesome people. So if you guys enjoy this content, you have these wonderful people to thank for it as well. And thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you stopping by today. If you liked what you saw here today, I'll throw a couple more videos up on the screen. And if you stuck around all the way to the end of this video and the end of this year, I really do appreciate it. Have a great rest of your day or night, and goodbye forever.